We've been linked to a lot of players this transfer window already, but we are just waiting for the club to pull the final trigger on a few deals. Well, today we have been handed a huge transfer boost, which we will discuss, whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Nat Phillips has completed a £3 million move to West Bromwich Albion, marking the latest step in a career that included a brief and unremarkable stint at Celtic. The English centre-back joined the Hoops on loan from Liverpool in the summer of 2023, arriving as a stopgap during a period of defensive injuries at Parkhead. However, he struggled to make a meaningful impact, managing just 8 appearances across all competitions before his return to Anfield in January. Despite early hopes he might bring stability to Brendan Rodgers' backline, Phillips looked off the pace and failed to hold down a regular place. His limited game time saw him quickly slip down the pecking order as other options returned to fitness. After leaving Liverpool, he had short spells with Cardiff City and Derby County. Now 28, Phillips has opted for a fresh start at West Brom, who are gearing up for another push in the Championship. He'll join former Celt Mikey Johnston at the Hawthorns. Nat Phillips is one of the players Brendan Rodgers brought into the club to try to replace Carl Starfelt, who has been missed since leaving Celtic. Many have tried to fill the void next to Cameron Carter-Vickers, but there hasn't exactly been a successful replacement as of yet. Now for the main story, Celtic are expected to continue their financial backing of Brendan Rodgers this summer, with sources indicating the club are not shy about spending big once again. After securing the Premiership title and League Cup last term, Rodgers is preparing his side for an early start to the campaign with a Champions League qualifier looming in August. It's understood that at least one significant outlay is anticipated as the manager looks to strengthen his squad for both domestic dominance and European progress. Last summer, the club flexed its financial muscle with a number of high-profile signings. Belgian midfielder Arne Engels arrived for around £11 million, while Adam Ida's permanent move from Norwich was sealed for £9.5 million. Austin Trusty joined from Sheffield United in a £6 million deal. Paulo Bernardo completed a £2.5 million transfer after a successful loan, and Luke McCowan and Viljami Sinisalo were added for £1 million each. Then in the January window, the Hoops shelled out £7.5 million to bring Jota back to Glasgow after his stint in Saudi Arabia and France, showing further ambition in the market. It could turn into a rebuild at Celtic this summer. Already confirmed to be walking through the door is Ross Doohan and Kieran Tierney. Already, Callum Osmond and Ben Nygren look set to follow in their footsteps. In other news, Celtic have now completed 5 years with Adidas as their kit supplier, and the partnership has delivered some absolute belters. With the deal recently extended, now's the perfect time to look back at the 5 best Adidas kits since the German brand joined forces with the Hoops. They've had their fair share of howlers. That stained glass attempt attracted mixed criticism, but they've delivered some belters in the away and third shirt sections. The 2020 to 2021 campaign was one to forget. But even in the darkest of seasons, Adidas brought some light. This was their debut year with Celtic, and all 3 kits were class, but the mint green third kit stands out. It was reminiscent of Love Street and a nod to that famous 1986 title win. This away shirt was slick, stylish, and a fan favourite. A 21 to 22 kit forever linked with Ange Postecoglou's first trophy and Kyogo's Hampton Heroics. This dark green number with cream detailing was all about elegance. The minimalist look, complete with a subtle embossed Celtic badge, struck the perfect balance between tradition and modernity. One of Adidas's more understated hits, but a timeless one. The 2022 to 2023 season, also known as the treble season, that alone gives this kit iconic status. This bold black design with green stripes running vertically down the front was unlike anything we'd seen before. Adidas even altered the badge to blend with the look, and it worked. The whole kit screamed dominance, and it was worn by a team that delivered exactly that. Celtic's kits that season divided opinion, but not this one from the 23 to 24 season. The black away shirt, detailed with a dark camo green pattern, was a massive hit. Sleek, modern and unfussy, it stood in stark contrast to the busier home and third kits of that campaign. Memories of that season when we were nearly competing. This one was effortlessly cool. And lastly, the 2024 to 2025 home strip. Sometimes less is more. After the experimental stained glass effort of 23 to 24, Adidas went back to basics and it paid off. Clean hoops, dark green Adidas stripes, and those signature lines side details that match seamlessly with the shorts. It's a modern classic. This kit already has its place in fans' memories. Callum McGregor's screamer against Rangers at Celtic Park ensured that. We regret to inform you, Celtic legend John Clarke has passed away at the age of 84. Clarke, a Lisbon Lion, made more than 300 appearances for the club and played a pivotal role in the 1967 European Cup triumph, a moment that etched his name permanently in Celtic folklore. With Celtic, he won 4 league titles, 4 League Cups, 3 Scottish Cups and 1 European Cup. Celtic boss Brendan Rodgers paid a heartfelt tribute to the Hoops legend on the Celtic website, saying, "Greatness is a word people throw around, but for John Clarke it is a very fitting tribute. John was instrumental in delivering our greatest day ever, and his achievement is forever etched in Celtic's proud history." John's continued presence at Celtic across so many decades, I know, served as an absolute inspiration to so many players, managers and staff, including myself very much. To have him with us as part of the club for so long has been a tremendous privilege for us all. It meant so much to us. Through his knowledge, his wisdom, and his true love for Celtic, John has made such an important contribution to the club. I know John was loved so dearly by his family, by everyone at the club and our supporters. We will all miss him so much, he concluded. Former Celtic striker Chris Sutton echoed those sentiments, writing on social media, "Really upsetting to hear of John Clarke's passing. A true Celtic great, a legend on the field and an absolute gentleman off it. Thoughts and prayers go out to John's family." Peter Lawwell then took time to speak after his very dear friend's passing was confirmed. John's passing represents a massive loss to his own family and, of course, a huge loss to the wider Celtic family. A very dear friend and colleague, John was actually a hero to me and so many others, someone who achieved the greatest feat of all in club football, but did so, along with his great teammates, with such grace and humility. That famous day in Lisbon, which John was such an integral part of, changed our club forever. Ever since, each player who has passed through our club has stood on the shoulders of giants, and John was certainly one of those giants. John gave his life to Celtic both as a player and on our staff in a variety of his roles, and his contribution to our great club over so many decades is immeasurable. John was a fantastic husband, father and grandfather. Such a warm, gentle and unassuming man. It was an absolute privilege to have known John. Rightly, he will forever be regarded as one of Celtic's greatest ever servants. He will be someone we will all miss so dearly, and we send all our love, our thoughts and prayers to John's family. John Hartson, who worked closely with Clarke during his time at Celtic, added on X, "Very sad news to hear my old kit man and Celtic great John Clarke has passed away. His partnership with Billy McNeil was immense. Clarke's humble nature and lifelong devotion to the club earned him immense respect. Whether as a player, coach or kit man, his impact was felt throughout Celtic Park. Tonight, a silence sets over Parkhead. His name will be talked about for the rest of Celtic's history. He led an inspirational life and lived the dream, winning the European Cup with Celtic. Tributes have been pouring in throughout the day and will continue. John Clarke was a man loved by all, and it's a privilege to call him a Celtic legend." What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.